You're watching News Channel 5.
Higher and higher, surging world oil prices bring more sticker shock at the pump. Rumors of a Kerry McCain dream team bring out both supporters and doubters. Torture tactics and interrogations. Do tough methods get results? And the security signal that would silence your cell phone.
This is the CBS Evening News with Thalia Assuris.
Good evening, everyone. We begin tonight with the soaring price of oil and the impact the surge is having on the national economy in general and on gasoline prices in particular. World economic leaders declared at a meeting this weekend that the rising prices should not cause alarm. But such assurances seem to be falling on deaf ears. Sharon Alfonsi has more.
Fear drove the oil markets this week as continued buying pushed the price of crude to an all-time high of $41.38 a barrel. Analysts say the price spike is spurred by recent attacks on oil industry targets and a deteriorating situation in Iraq.
When we hear about a storm pending, everybody runs to the supermarket, and before you know it, the shelves are empty. So this panic buying is really basically driven by fear.
The sum of all those fears is felt at the pump. Drivers are paying a nationwide average of $1.95 a gallon, and analysts say it could hit $2.10 and stay there. Oil supplies are tight and now strained by the world's fastest growing economy.
China's growth is surprising, and it's hard to understand everything that's going on in that economy. And the economy appears to be growing faster than what everyone expects.
China is now the #2 oil consumer in the world, with auto sales up 37% this year.
We're talking about 1.3 billion people who decide that they don't want to ride bicycles anymore. They want to drive passenger cars just like us.
Even if China grows half as fast as current predictions, analysts say China will become major competition for the U.S. for energy supplies in the future.
History has shown us that superpowers don't get along together when they have to compete over a scarce resource.
It is a nuclear power, so we really cannot just push them in a corner at will.
It was Napoleon who called China a sleeping giant, predicting that when it awakens, the whole world will shake. Well, analysts say the oil market is already trembling with fear, and consumers are paying the price at the pump. Sharon Alfonsi, CBS News, New York.
Poll numbers released today show President Bush neck and neck with challenger Democratic Senator John Kerry. Now, many of Kerry's supporters believe the right running mate could give him an edge. Their idea of a dream teammate? Republican John McCain. A pipe dream? Here's Kelly Kobiea.
With the latest poll numbers showing Senator John Kerry in a virtual tie with President Bush, both sides are looking for an edge. Some in the Kerry camp are dreaming of a split ticket, with Republican Senator John McCain as their candidate for vice president.
A lot of swing voters would be so impressed with either of these candidates finding ways to reach some bipartisan common ground.
The Vietnam veterans are reportedly close friends and talk regularly.
John McCain and I worked very closely together on a bunch of issues.
The Arizona senator insists he has totally ruled out the idea of teaming up with Kerry. But those who follow McCain closely say the senator is upset over the Bush administration's handling of Iraq and is still smarting from the way the Bush campaign handled him in the run for the Republican nomination in 2000. If he did team up with Kerry, many believe it would be on the condition they could agree to disagree.
John McCain would have to make a judgment call that it's okay to challenge his commander-in-chief during a time of war.
But would core Democrats accept a candidate for vice president they see as an opponent of abortion rights and affirmative action?
The Democratic base would be apoplectic if a man with his social views were a heartbeat away from the presidency in a Democratic administration.
The McCain question could be settled by June 9th. That's the deadline for the senator to file re-election paperwork for his Senate seat. Kelly Kobiea, CBS News, New York.
With the president under fire because of the situation in Iraq, there are questions about whether John Kerry has failed to capitalize on Mr. Bush's vulnerability. On that, here's Byron Pitts.
For Senator John Kerry, the presumptive Democratic nominee, each week starts and ends with a theme.
That health care is not a privilege for the wealthy and the connected and the elected.
But while the candidate focused on health care, the nation and the world were riveted by the Iraqi prison scandal, the murder of American civilian Nicholas Berg. In the past, Senator Kerry has detailed his plans for Iraq, but he's kept his comments on the prison scandal to a minimum.
Well, Bill Clinton left office, not one young American in uniform was dying in a war anywhere in this world.
His cautious line Democrats fear will cost Kerry, a missed opportunity to show the differences between himself and President George W. Bush.
He's facing a dilemma. If he says too much, I think the mission accomplished crowd is going to jump on him, say he's unpatriotic, he's not supporting the troops in the field. On the other hand, I think the American public really expects and wants to know how he's going to get us out of this failed policy.
Kerry supporters believe he's striking the right tone.
I think standing back and taking the higher ground is a much more positive approach.
So you think it serves him well, Senator Kerry well, not to say much about the prison situation at this point?
I don't think that it's serving Senator Kerry well. I think it's best for the country.
What's worked best for the Kerry campaign, according to his aides, bypassing the national media and taking his message directly to the local press, where the senator's agenda often makes front-page news. Meantime, after reviewing those controversial photographs of Iraqi prisoners of war, Kerry made his first public comment Friday.
As president, I would personally have been concerned long ago about the reports that were coming out.
Some Democrats are quietly rumbling that he's not paying enough attention to them now. Byron Pitts, CBS News.
In Iraq, the military announced the deaths of 5 U.S. soldiers as fighting continued against followers of radical Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr. The most persistent skirmishes are in the south, in the holy cities of Karbala and Najaf. David Hawkins reports.
Muqtada al-Sadr's ragtag militia harassed U.S. forces in Karbala today, one of the Shiite holy cities in the south. Religious pilgrims caught in the crossfire scrambled for cover, while rebels brandished weapons and wore flak jackets seized when they overran an Iraqi police station. And al-Sadr's gunmen still control Najaf, where funerals today followed yesterday's fighting that caused minor damage to the Imam Ali Mosque, Shia Islam's most sacred shrine. The U.S. military has been wary of using its overwhelming firepower in the holy cities where al-Sadr's forces are based. Other, more moderate Shiite clerics have called upon al-Sadr to stop his rebellion and leave Najaf. But so far, all attempts at brokering a settlement or ceasefire have failed. And while U.S. military officials here call it a minor uprising, Muqtada al-Sadr remains a major headache.
If the objective is to create better environment to make the transition smooth and lessen the violence in the future, then you do not pick on Muqtada al-Sadr now.
The coalition wants to quash al-Sadr's power grab and is insisting on his arrest on charges of murder.
Muqtada al-Sadr must face justice. Muqtada al-Sadr must disband and disarm his militia. Period. End of issue.
Turning Muqtada al-Sadr into a martyr could make matters worse. Even though the number of his followers is relatively small, his fight against what most Iraqis consider an occupation army is gaining support. David Hawkins, CBS News, Baghdad.
Israeli helicopters rocketed targets in Gaza tonight, including a building used by Yasser Arafat's Fatah movement. Several bystanders reportedly were hurt. The attack came as Tel Aviv saw its biggest peace demonstration in years. Richard Roth is there.
Police counted 120,000 people. Organizers claimed it was double that. Either way, the demonstration put plenty of public faces on polls that say Israelis overwhelmingly want Jewish settlers and the army to get out of Gaza.
I think it was time yesterday.
To get out of Gaza?
Yes.
The fact is, it now appears inevitable Israel will pull its settlers and the troops supporting them out of Gaza. But it's hardly just the pressure of public protest that'll be pushing Israel to act. 13 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Gaza in just the past week. Most of the casualties were from roadside bombs so destructive that troops were ordered on hands and knees to search through the sand for human remains. And in this small country, the army's mourning quickly becomes the nation's anguish. There's anguish, too, on the Palestinian side, with at least 30 dead in the past week, and more anger. Claiming security needs, Israel bulldozed more than 80 Palestinian houses and apartments, leaving 1,000 people homeless, according to the UN. A court order's now temporarily stopped the army's demolition project, which for Palestinians is another grievance on a very long list. To mark its beginning, Palestinians were demonstrating today, too, waving symbolic keys for the homes they say they lost when the State of Israel was created more than 50 years ago. Richard Roth, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
And still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, do harsh interrogation methods even work? And later, lessons from school integration 50 years later.
I don't want to live the life of a best-selling romance novel. I just want to spend time with the one I love. For people living with moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, Humira is the latest treatment.
I don't want to be a famous artist. I just want to lift a paintbrush with less pain.
Humira relieves the pain and fatigue of rheumatoid arthritis in the majority of people while keeping it from getting worse.
I don't want to win a prize for literature.
I just want to teach my third graders how to read. Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, so tell your doctor right away if you get an infection, are prone to infections, or have ever had tuberculosis. Do not start Humira if you have an infection, such as an open sore or the flu. Other serious and sometimes fatal infections and tuberculosis have been reported in clinical trials. Rare cases of nervous system disorders and lymphoma have been reported. Common side effects are injection site pain and reactions, headache, and rash. Enjoy more normal living. Talk with your rheumatologist about Humira.
Adults with high cholesterol, diet and exercise aren't always enough. But adding Lipitor can help lower your total cholesterol 29 to 45%. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a serious side effect. So take the next step. Ask your doctor if Lipitor is right for you.
Wouldn't it be nice if more things in life were soft and comfortable? Well, now they can be. With Delcalax Stool Softener from the makers of Delcalax. Its gentle formula doesn't make you go. It just makes it more comfortable to go. And it's so safe, you can trust it enough to use as often as you need. Delcalax Stool Softener. Make yourself comfortable.
It's termite season. Terminix them with our problem-solved guarantee. 1-800-TERMINIX.
You gelling?
I'm taking a shell in, but I'm still gelling.
My trades are smelling.
Mine too, but who cares?
We're gelling. Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable. Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Tiger Woods shoots for his second win of the year at the EDS Byron Nelson Championship tomorrow on CBS.
At least 3 California high school teachers have been put on paid leave after complaints they let students watch the videotaped beheading of American Nicholas Berg in Iraq. One allegedly gave out the video's web address. Defense Secretary Rumsfeld reportedly approved the secret program that encouraged the physical coercion and sexual humiliation of Iraqi prisoners. The charge comes in the next issue of the New Yorker magazine. Meanwhile, many experts question whether the tactics are reliable. Joey Chen has more.
The torture happened long ago and far away to Orlando Tizon and Sister Diana Ortiz.
He spent 4 years imprisoned in Ferdinand Marcos's Philippines. She is an American nun, brutalized by Guatemalan security forces in 1989. Long ago, and yet.
When you see the pictures, what do you see?
I see what was done to me.
A mock execution, blindfolds, humiliation, sexual abuse. All are terrifyingly familiar.
I was lowered into an open pit with human bodies, bodies of people that were also stark naked. And at one point during my torture, there were dogs that were brought in.
What's worse, torture survivors say in their agony, they were often willing to tell interrogators anything.
I made up stories. We would be tortured at any time of the day. We would be taken out for torture and interrogation any time of the day or night. And we had to make up stories just to be able to get out of the situation.
Those trained in military interrogation agree that information from tortured suspects is often useless.
Torture will make a person talk, but how do we know he's telling the truth?
Just yesterday, the Pentagon announced it would change the rules for interrogating Iraqi detainees. No more sleep deprivation, being left hooded for days, forced into awkward positions for long periods. Trying again to quell the continuing outrage over the Abu Ghraib pictures, President Bush today said abusers would be punished. There will be no cover-up.
My administration and our military are determined that such abuses never happen again.
But the administration has maintained that detainees in Guantanamo Bay and in Afghanistan are enemy combatants, not covered by the Geneva Conventions, leaving open the question what rules will apply to them. Joey Chen, CBS News, the White House.
Just ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, sacrificing cell phone calls for national security.
Introducing the ultimate buttery spread, new Smart Balance Omega Plus, with natural plant sterols and omega-3 from the sea to help promote healthy cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Omega Plus contains no hydrogenated oil and no trans fatty acids, with the right balance of fats for smart eating. Plus a delicious buttery taste. Try the ultimate buttery spread, new Smart Balance Omega Plus.
My lawn is really by pride and joy. I know it's weed-free, I know it's dandelion-free. I know that for a fact because I hate dandelions. But every time I'm out here working on it, my neighbor Lana says, how do you get rid of your dandelions? I do it by using Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. The light granule sticks to that wet leaf much easier than a heavy granule, which would fall off. If it doesn't stick, it just doesn't work. Apply it, sticks to the leaf, Zappo. No more dandelions. Actually, to tell you the truth, she's trying to keep up with me. Uh-oh, I think she heard me. I think it's the greatest product ever made.
Research shows that kids whose parents regularly talk to them about not smoking are less likely to smoke. The Parent Resource Center at philipmorrisusa.com offers advice from experts on talking to kids about not smoking, including downloadable brochures on starting the conversation and helping kids handle peer pressure. For more, visit philipmorrisusa.com or call for a free brochure.
Grandpa, how come you're always chugging Metamucil?
So it won't get thick and gritty.
Mommy doesn't chug.
I found an easier way to take fiber. Betafiber. It never gets thick like Metamucil can. It's taste-free, too.
Smart mommy.
Betafiber. The choice is clear.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who's searching for a way to get back into the rhythm of life, maybe it's time you ask your doctor about Ambien. Or call toll-free 1-877-9-AMBIEN.
Financial services.
We're looking at only 3 points.
Reduction long-term receivables.
The luxurious Hyundai XG350L with America's best warranty. It's getting noticed in more ways than one.
The prison abuse scandal continues. How far will it go? Senators Lindsey Graham and Carl Levin, plus New Yorker magazine's Cy Hirsch on what will happen next. Face the Nation, Sunday.
An unusual battle brewing in Southern California over tactics in the war on terrorism could have implications nationwide. The dispute pits the needs of 162 million cell phone users against the needs of national security. Bill Whitaker explains.
After Madrid, there was no denying one of the most ubiquitous devices of modern life can be deadly. This carnage triggered by a cell phone tied to explosives. Now the sheriff of Los Angeles feverishly is trying to devise a plan to counter cell phone terror.
I think it's critical in the strategy of fighting terrorism to take away these tools of opportunity.
He was inspired on a trip to Pakistan. President Pervez Musharraf averted an assassination attempt along this road with a device that jams cell phone signals. Sheriff Baca now proposes installing similar jamming equipment at potential city targets: LAX, the Rose Bowl, Universal Studios.
Lives have been saved because of that technology.
In fact, the Secret Service jams cell phones whenever the president travels. Jamming devices are available all over the internet. The trouble is, for a civilian actually to jam cell phone calls is illegal, subject to an $11,000 federal fine per day and up to a year in jail. Illegal and problematic.
The airwaves belong to the public, and we want to make sure there's no constraint or no restriction of the right the public has.
An even bigger danger, cutting off emergency personnel.
Cell phones can become critical in the immediate aftermath of a terrorist situation. Do we want to deprive people of their communications in a potential crisis?
There's no consensus at the moment.
If we under attack, do what you got to do, shut it down.
If something did happen, I have the access to make that last phone call to my loved ones, and I think that's my wish.
But Sheriff Baca says it's time to start planning. We've already had our wake-up calls. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Smarty Jones today set the stage to become the first Triple Crown winner in 26 years. The unbeaten Kentucky Derby winner roared to a 12-length victory in the Preakness. That is a race record.
To Belmont, this Philadelphia story continues.
Murphy! Lawn weeds. Some products will kill them, but they'll burn holes in your lawn too. Is there a solution? Yes. Ortho Weed Be Gone Weed Killer for Lawns. Weed Be Gone's exclusive Lawn Guard formula kills the toughest weeds without ever harming your grass. Guaranteed. So it's goodbye weeds, hello beautiful lawn. Ortho Weed Be Gone. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed. Right, Murph?
A lot of women want their eyes to look dramatically younger. But an eye lift may be too drastic. Introducing Regenerist Eye from Olay. No nips, no tucks. An aminopeptide complex hydrates to allow the natural regeneration of collagen and elastin. One cell at a time, skin's appearance is visibly lifted and brightened without drastic measures. You won't believe your eyes. New Regenerist Eye from Olay. Love the skin you're in.
Oh. What did the doctor say?
He said the best thing for my arthritis pain is to keep moving my knee throughout the day.
But it hurts when you move.
I know, but the doctor said I should take a leave.
But we've always taken Tylenol.
Well, Tylenol can wear off in the middle of the day. Aleve can work all day.
Doctors know Aleve has the strength to relieve arthritis pain for up to 12 hours.
That Aleve's got you moving again.
All day without pain. Do you know how good that feels?
Aleve.
Join the Arthritis Foundation and Aleve for the Arthritis Walk this May.
My doctor said I needed fiber, but Metamucil is thick and gritty. My doctor said I should take Benefiber. Benefiber has just as much fiber and never gets thick or gritty. Ask your doctor about Benefiber. For me, the choice is clear.
One day on vacation, Brian just said, "This is where we belong." We opened the sandbar 3 months later. After Brian died, I thought about moving back, but this is our place.
Insurance from Mutual of Omaha. Begin today.
Got an itch? Scratching tears up skin. Maximum Strength Lenicaine saves your skin from scratching with maximum anti-itch medicine and antibacterial to help kill germs. Lenicaine stops the itch, saves your skin.
We try a lot of things before we succeed. That's why we keep trying. Maybe all the times you tried to quit smoking were just practice. The 4-milligram Commit Lozenge actually doubles your chances of quitting. The Commit Lozenge. Real help, real hope.
Retirement. If you're thinking gated communities and golf carts, think again. Monday, creative new ways to retire. An Eye on America series on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Monday marks the 50th anniversary of the Supreme Court decision in Brown versus Board of Education that banned racial segregation and opened the door to equality in schools. Now, one of the earliest students to benefit is at the heart of a whole new debate. Gretchen Carlson reports tonight's Weekend Journal.
And what is your name?
Ena Christian.
Ena Christian.
Virginia Walden Ford has a place in history. She was one of 130 black students to integrate Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas in the 1960s. It's the same school where just a few years earlier, U.S. troops escorted 9 black students to class to enforce a federal desegregation order resulting from the U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Brown versus Board of Education.
I'm a public school graduate. My parents were public school teachers. My thought about public schools is it was going to get better.
But today, Walden Ford has taken a different view and found herself in an unlikely role as an activist for school vouchers, the controversial plan allowing parents to send their kids to private school at public expense.
And nobody wants to give up on public schools. You know, we want parents to have options to save their children now.
She began to lose faith in the public school system after her 13-year-old son began having problems in school. A neighbor offered to pay for private school.
Within weeks, we saw just a big change in his behavior, in his wanting to learn.
That experience was an epiphany. She wanted other low-income parents to have the opportunity to send their kids to private school. So she started an organization to promote vouchers programs. Virginia Walden Ford's fight eventually took her to Capitol Hill, where in January she played a pivotal role in getting the landmark vouchers bill passed by Congress. The bill provides $14 million to needy students here in Washington, D.C. to give them the opportunity to go to private schools. Under the 5-year pilot program, families below the poverty line can apply for 1,700 scholarships that pay up to $7,500 per student per year. Keisha Anderson, who already sends 2 of her kids to private school, says the scholarships would be a godsend.
It can do more for my children, you know, because right now I'm a single parent, struggling, trying to make it, doing the best I can.
The overwhelming majority of children that need help are in public schools.
Some school voucher opponents say diverting much-needed money from public schools will leave them in worse shape, and fear a migration of high-achieving students will lower academic standards.
The more children that leave the public system, the fewer dollars have to be invested.
The Brown versus Board of Education decision was supposed to spur quality public education for all. With that goal unmet, Virginia Walden Ford just wants to see that kids get a quality education, even if it means abandoning the ideals that she and her parents once valued so highly. Gretchen Carlson, CBS News, Washington.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Later tonight, 48 Hours investigates with Leslie Stahl.
Mia Zapata was on the verge of stardom. Then she was murdered. The case went cold until they found what no one else could.
Is it one of our friends who did it?
Who murdered the rock star? A 48 Hours mystery tonight.
I'm Thalia Ashur's CBS News in New York. Tomorrow on Sunday morning, Ports of Call, a tour of islands around the world. Then on Face the Nation, Senators Lindsey Graham and Carl Levin. Good night, everyone.
For news 24 hours a day, click on cbsnews.com. Partially sponsored by Walmart. Good jobs. Good people. Great opportunities. Come grow with us at Walmart. Experience CBS News.
Morty's always been very inflexible about his side of the Sleep Number bed.
I jumped into bed. It was on 45. I loved it. Why experiment?
I've always been somewhat of a daredevil. I like to try different things.
41 day, 25 the next.
I like spontaneity.
It's a bed. It's comfortable at 45. What's so spontaneous about a bed?
That's my Morty.
A Sleep Number is the key to a perfect night's sleep. The Sleep Number bed by Select Comfort. Call 1-800-SLEEP-NUMBER.
Hey, I'm Bob Goodfriend, chairman of Goodies.
It's Goodies Customer Appreciation Sale. Sunday and Monday, enjoy 25% off your purchase, including regular sale and clearance prices. Some exclusions apply.
Our goal is to have the best quality, the best selection, and the best prices every day.
Sunday and Monday till 9 p.m.
Low prices and a really great selection. I love this place.
Goodies Customer Appreciation Sale. 2 big days. Don't miss it. Your new Goodies grand opening celebration continues at Hollyoaks in Lawrenceburg.
Evel Knievel, Tom Selleck, Jerry Haas, plus win a flyaway trip and cheap week in Hendersonville.
Construction projects cause delays and frustration for Nashville drivers. We'll